Thank you.
Salam alaikum. Freedom of religion is a central value in the U.S. There's a common belief that Americans don't care about religion. I'm here to tell you that is wrong. Americans care passionately about religion. For us, however, religion is perhaps more of a private than a public matter. For us, it matters very much that one chooses one's own religion, because in the end, one chooses one's own fate and one's own salvation. I can look at my own family, for instance, and I'm not making this up, but within my own family, we have Methodist Christian, we have a Buddhist, we have a Jew, we have an Eastern Orthodox Catholic, we have a Shia Muslim, and we finally have a Roman Catholic. And that's just my family. And I submit that most American families will have in them a variety of individuals with a variety of views, nearly all of whom carry very passionately about their religion. Now, I love India. I've been coming to India for more than 30 years. I would guess that the most of you were not born when I first came to India. So I'm the old experienced teacher here, and I tell you that India is changing very, very rapidly, and it's an exciting time to be here in India. India is, along with the U.S., I think the two most pluralist societies there are in the world. I run into Indians constantly who say, well, I'm here, but I'm actually from Calcutta. And I'm there, but my family is actually from Kerala. Again and again and again. An Indian is not a person who's rooted in a single place, but comes from a family that can look back to other parts of India, to other ways of seeing things. And so you too, like an American, have made choices to determine who you are and why you are here. That, to me, is very exciting. I find that as I visit India again and again, all the way from Ladakh, Srinagar, to Chennai, that it is not a divide between those who care about religion and those who don't care about religion. It's a divide between those who believe that people should be allowed to practice their religion and those who do not. The United States is known for Coca-Cola, Pepsi, MTV, a whole lot of other things which you may enjoy, but which do not seem particularly important. But I would suggest that the United States' gifts to the world are tolerance and freedom, and the respect for tolerance and freedom. The United States wants a world where there's a balance of power between those who would be for this version of freedom and those who would be for that version of freedom. The United States does not want a world where the United States controls any approach to freedom. Instead, we want you and you and you to work with us to find a balance that will lead us all to freedom. Therefore, the United States wishes to create the conditions that will allow you and all the people in the world to choose along with you their own ways toward political and economic liberty. The United States supports this not out of a political purpose, not out of a desire to appear good, but because it is good. Now, the United States believes in peace. However, the United States also believes that it is necessary to defend peace. Especially, we wish to achieve our goals of freedom and tolerance by defending peace against those who advocate global terror. We will use every tool at our disposal to prevent and contain and respond to terrorist attacks. However, when I say every tool, I do not mean bombs, planes, guns, knives. I mean things like good education. I mean things like clean water, sanitation, health. I mean things like plain old auditing of financial accounts. I mean things like cooperating with your authorities, with those of the other countries in the world, to contain criminal elements. I mean things such as stopping the flow of narcotics, which fuels a lot of terrorism. I mean things such as stopping the flow of people against their will across borders to be used by others. These really are, I think, basic to our campaign against terror. It is unfortunate that too often the resort to force captures the central attention, when actually you and I are engaged together with all these kinds of ways of combating terror. There's a common misperception that the U.S. somehow is against Islam. I am here to tell you that is absolutely, definitely, completely wrong. The U.S. is a nation of immigrants, and our people include Muslims from around the world, whether it be Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Africa, or of course, India. Therefore, the U.S. war on terrorism is not a clash of civilizations. It is not the U.S. versus Islam. It is really a clash between civilization, which is everyone in this room, and those who would seek to destroy it. To defend against the common dangers and build on our common hopes, the United States has and will intend to continue working with the UN and other international organizations, as well as bilaterally with countries like India, to combat terrorism. We know that any single vision of the world, even if it's the U.S. vision, is not enough. We need your visions as well. Therefore, because we think that democracy is an absolute good, because we think that tolerance and freedom are basic to democracy, these values will remain central to us just as they are central to you in India. You are, after all, the world's largest democracy. You are, along with the U.S., one of the world's two most diverse democracies. You share with us a constitution which protects the freedom of religion for everyone in India. It's a long, hard struggle. I do not pretend that the U.S. believes that it is perfect. I do not pretend that everyone in the U.S. believes as much as I passionately believe in tolerance. But I do promise you that these are the ideals of the U.S., that tolerance and freedom of religion are central to our view of ourselves as a people, just as I think they are central to those of India. As the two largest democracies, India and the U.S. must continue to support freedom. Freedom will not live without your support. Therefore, you must join with us and continue the struggle for freedom and the freedom to practice religion. In many ways, the character of the future that these children here will inherit, that my children will inherit, depends on the success of our action and our cooperation in this difficult time. However, these shared values of freedom and tolerance give us a common bond. We have something very precious that we share.